All right, you want examples? I give you examples. I have two more ready for you here. One of them looks like an example from your lesson where there's a graph with just finitely many points on it, and I just made up a graph and just like put some numbers down. And we're asking, is this the graph of a function? So, okay, I got pairs of numbers, that's a good sign, and always when we're talking about graphs, the x's are meant to be the inputs and the y's are meant to be the outputs. So I got to ask myself, is this a graph of a function? Well, okay, the definition of this means every input goes with exactly one output. But there's a sneaky trick. And it's a cool sneaky trick. It's called vertical line test, right? I mean, it's totally on the next page of your lesson. And it works here. You can do the vertical line test and figure out if you're looking at a function or not. And so I'm going to grab a vertical line, and I'm going to start moving and see if it passes. And here's -7, 1 all by himself. That's cool. Whoa! We already have a super fail. Check this out. There's a vertical line here at -5. By at -5, I mean x equals -5. And this vertical line goes through 2 points. -5 is the input. 5 and -3 are the two different outputs. So, no, it is not. Not by the definition, not by the vertical line test. Absolutely not. Here is a graph of a function, find the domain and range. So this problem helps you out a little bit. It says, okay, it's definitely a function. And it's got millions of inputs and millions of outputs, right? In fact, how many inputs are there? How many x's are there that have y's associated to them? Well, here's a sneaky trick that I learned. It's not in your book, but I like it. I like to visualize this V-shaped graph thing being smushed. And when I'm talking about domain, I smush it this way. And when I'm talking about range, I smush it this way. I imagine this blue V-shaped thing being smashed against that x-axis, just flattened. And how many x values does it cover when it does this? Well, since these blue lines are meant to go on forever and ever, when I smash this thing flat, doesn't it cover the whole x-axis? Oh, yes, it does. And so when yes, this is a technical term. When I smush horizontally, I find out that the domain is everything. The whole x-axis. Here's a fancy way of writing that. -infinity to infinity. All the real numbers ever, ever, ever. Fantastic. Now we got to talk about range. I'm going to smash it this way. And if I smash that V shape onto the y-axis, there's like, this is all covered up, right? All of this, all the way down, right? Because that V shape went forever. Does 3 count? Oh my goodness, yes it does. This is the point 2, 3, and so this is definitely in the range. 3 counts as an output. And so now, looking at the picture, I can see that 3 and everything below 3 comes out. And so when I smush vertically, I discover, much to my delight, that the range is 3 and below. You want to know the fancy way of writing that? -infinity all the way up to 3, inclusive. I want 3 to count.